August next year, and it remains debilitated. I think it's, one sec, I'll just give you the correct date. So yeah, 30th of July to 9th of September. So how does the debilitation of Mars affect us? Mars is the planet of courage, and he's also the planet of focus. He's the one who gives us discipline. You know, he's the commander-in-chief. So he's telling you, do this, stand up, sit down, be disciplined. You know, how the warriors are, they're very disciplined. So when Mars is debilitated, we are not going to be that disciplined as general. Especially, so therefore, how does he affect your sadhana means too many things you want to do. Secondly, Mars gets debilitated in the house of his best friend. That means that you want comfort instead of difficult things. It's very interesting that he's a warrior, so he's not meant to have comfort. He's meant to sleep on the hard bed and go through the war, or whatever his war is. And we like to think of him as the spiritual warrior. He's not just the warrior in fighting the war in Afghanistan. He's fighting your war. So what does Mars do when he's in Cancer? He's more indulgent, self-indulgent. I want a good bed, I want a good hotel. I don't want to sleep in the rough. I want to see lots of interesting things. So, in a way, that period, Mars gets debilitated once every 2 years. It's not every year. So this year, then it won't do it next year. It will do it the year after. And what it is that this time can be, of course, it's summer. So you can think about it, but suppose in your sadhana you find a block. You see, what I find with the planets is sometimes they don't affect you. Then you don't have to worry about them. But if you know in the back of the mind this is what is happening, then you can say, okay, if it is affecting me, then I should take some contrary action to it. Because I know where my truth lies with me. Then how can I work with that? So this is an aspect that happens all the time, but just to remind you that, and then because there's multiple things happening in August and September, and that is why we need to be conscious of. So then, at the same time, Venus represents our auspiciousness. It's the goddess. It also represents love. It represents our feeling of joy, and in the elemental play, Venus rules the water element. Moon controls the water, so Moon controls the emotions, but Venus is water. And it's connected to the Swadhisthana chakra. So it's our core, we are 85% water. So Venus is going to do something quite interesting. It's going to turn retrograde. But not only that it's going to turn retrograde, it's going to go over a junction place which is very complicated during the retrograde. That means that our water energy, which is our emotion, our well-being, our swadhisthana, is going to go through some process of ups and downs. Because what does water do? Water is our purification, purity, but it's also our feeling of being loved. And love, I mean not just in romantic love, but higher love as well. So this retrograde, just again to remember that time, and because they are all piled together, we have the debilitated Mars, and we have on, I'm just trying to remember the Yeah, Venus turns retrograde on 25th of July. So Venus turns retrograde on 25th of July and goes direct on 6th of September. So you see these two things are running simultaneously. And to add to that, Saturn, which is retrograde just now, goes direct on 1st of August. So generally once anything goes into a process, you don't feel it. But absolutely the start of the energy. So the start of the retrograde period. So 25th of July, 30th of July, 1st of August. These are all kind of significant days where we can feel some shift, some change. As I said, not everybody feels everything, but the idea why we watch all these is that we are aware of it. And then when you see going into September, you see that on 6th of September, Venus goes direct, 9th, Mars gets out of debilitation. So he goes from weakness suddenly to super strength. So it's quite interesting that suddenly where you were not motivated at all, you are then focused and motivated and wanting to do things. And so you have to keep yourself motivated during August. And then we see on the 6th, Venus goes direct, 9th, Mars gets out of debilitation, 13th is the solar eclipse, 28th is the lunar eclipse. But again, the lunar eclipse is not that important, the solar eclipse and that sort of a bulk of energy together in September that we have to keep in mind. So now I want to focus on 2016. And 2016 is a very special year. And it's special because there's a lot of major planetary disturbance. And major planetary disturbance is not that uncommon. But, sometimes when they come together, then it creates, a lot of change and transformation worldwide or otherwise as well, personally. But in order for planets to seriously make a change for you, they have to connect to your personal chart. So this is a general indication. But what is happening next year is that Jupiter and Rahu are coming together on 30th of January. And Jupiter actually, Rahu is your subconscious. That is your subconscious, that is very powerful. So in astrology, Rahu is your subconscious that disturbs everything else, that wants to be heard. It's your past karma. Rahu and Ketu, those of you who know astrology, both of them, it's your past karma that wants to be heard. It can usurp all your good intentions. And it's doing something all the time that they are the ones that cause the eclipses as well. So that means that your subconscious becomes much louder at that stage. So, and this year Rahu is doing its own thing, it's not affecting any planets. But Rahu by nature, and this is the interesting point about the subconscious also, it only moves backwards. It only retrogrades, it doesn't go forward at all. So it's very interesting because I was telling Swamiji how important her lecture was yesterday for me. As being a practitioner for many years, but that whole aspect of, so the subconscious is pulling you back. You see, it's not taking you forward. So that is the thing about Rahu Ketu, they only move backwards. So they are at present in Virgo, so they will walk backward into Leo. And they do that on 30th of January 2016. But at the same time, almost at the same day, Jupiter turns retrograde on 7th of January. Not the same day, but it's a little bit different. And then when Rahu comes, he comes and joins Jupiter, and both of them keep on moving backwards for about 4 months. Till 7th of January, so 4 months is 7th of April, I think. Let me just get my months right. No, 9th of May, Jupiter goes direct. So up to that time, Rahu and Jupiter are moving backwards together. So think about it in the terms, yogic terms of subconscious. And what is Jupiter? Jupiter is our superconsciousness. It's our wisdom. We have the mind and we have the thinking, the analysis, but we have wisdom. Person can be very bright, but they may not be wise. And Jupiter is the guru. It's our wisdom. So we see that